Hi viewers, welcome to NCERT History Basics. As a series of history basics, we are discussing part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5. Today we have discussing about the NCERT History Basics part 5. In the mind maps of history basics, the first area, Pune Sarvajanik Sabha, Bombay Presidency Association, Indian National Congress, W.C. Banerjee, Dadabhai Nauroji, Poverty and British Rule India, Lal Bal Pal, Lala Lajpat Rai, Balagangadhar Tilak, Bipin Chandra Pal. In this area, Pune Sarvajanik Sabha, it is one of the earliest association to frame ideas, discuss ideas about the associations. Bombay Presidency Association is one of the such organization formed in Bombay. Finally, in 1885, a retired civil servant, Alan Octavian Hume, A.O. Hume, formed Indian National Congress, which has led the Indian national movement from 1885 to 1947. From 1885 to 1947, there are four phases. From 1885 to 1905, it is moderate phase. From 1905 to 1919, it is extremist phase. From 1919 to 1947, it is Gandhian era. So in these phases, Indian National Congress was originated by a British retired civil servant A.O. Hume. W.C. Banerjee was the first president, which was met in Bombay, Gokuldas Tejpal Sanskrit College. 72 delegates were attended for the Indian National Congress first session. This was the first inception to fight against the colonial rule. At the initial phase, Indian National Congress was not aimed to get freedom, not to fight against the colonial rule. Just it followed PPP, the method P, prayer, petition and protest. These are the methods of moderates. The earliest moderate leader, the first president of Indian National Congress, W.C. Banerjee, Umesh Chandra Banerjee, a leading lawyer in Calcutta. Again, other grand old man of India, Dadabhai Nauroji. He wrote Poverty and British Rule in India. Actually, British rule is meant for the rule, equality before law. But here, they have exploited different forms, in the form of salaries, in the form of properties, in the form of raw material. They have sucked and exported all these resources from India to their motherland. So, he again calculated in a famous book, Poverty and British Rule in India, he calculated the national income, how the Britishers are exploiting our resources in a scientific method. Dadabhai Nauroji described it. So he elected for 3 times in earlier phase of Indian National Congress. Again, in the phase of extremist phase, Lal Bal Pal, Lala Lajpat Rai, Balagangadhar Tilak, Bipin Chandra Pal. Here, Lala Lajpat Rai expressed as a Punjab Kesari, Balagangadhar Tilak, Maratha Lion, and Bipin Chandra Pal, Bengal Tiger. Those are the extremist leaders. They have advocated the Swaraj and boycott in their methods. Next, coming to the other synopsis, Viceroy Curzon. He meant for the partition of Bengal. In 1905, Bengal was divided on the basis of religion. Britishers adopted divide and rule policy. Here, the East Bengal and West Bengal, on the basis of population, Hindus and Muslims, they have partitioned. Against the partition of Bengal, Vande Mataram movement was originated. There are 5 major movements in Indian national movement. One is Vande Mataram movement. In 1916, Home Rule movement. 1920, Non-Cooperation movement. 1930, Civil Disobedience movement. 1942, Quit India movement. Here, the partition of Bengal led to Vande Mataram movement in 1905. It is also described as Swadeshi movement. Freedom is my birthright. It was a slogan given by Balagangadhar Tilak, the famous extremist leader, during the period of Home Rule movement in 1916. Surat split, it is one of the incident occurred in Indian National Congress. At the initial phase of Indian National Congress, they have not achieved up to 2 decades. In the span of 20 years, the moderate leaders, they have followed the prayer, protest and petitions. These methods are not satisfied by the extremist leaders. So, they have criticized the moderates, and finally in the Surat session in 1907, Indian National Congress was split into 2 parties. One is moderates and extremists. Here, there are so many disputes occurred. In that dilemma, the moderate leaders who have dominated the Indian National Congress, they have expelled from the extremists from the Congress party. So from 1907, it is one of the era in Indian National Congress. It is meant for Surat split. Here, another snippet, April 13, 1919. When you observe the world history, the innocent people who was gathered for the festival, these people were shooted by British General Dyer. In that shooting, nearly about 1,000 members are killed. Jallianwala Bagh massacre. This is one of the massacre that April 13, 1919 occurred. For this incident, Rabindranath Tagore, who was the first Nobel laureate in Asia, who wrote Gitanjali, who wrote the national anthem for our India and also for Bangladesh, Amar Sonar Bangla, he renounced the knighthood title for the Jallianwala Bagh massacre. Here, when you see the other snippets, Inquilab Jindabad, it is a famous slogan given by HSRA leader Bhagat Singh. Whenever the radical ideas and youth they have met, they give Inquilab Jindabad. Bhagat Singh Rajguru assassinated Sanders, who killed Lala Lajpat Rai in a lathi charge in Simon Go Back movement. When the Simon Go Back movement is going on in Lahore, the Sanders, Assistant Commissioner of Police, ordered for lathi charge. In that lathi charge, Lala Lajpat Rai is wounded and he was expired due to that lathi charge. For this revenge, Bhagat Singh and Rajguru assassinated Sanders at Lahore railway station. Hindustan Socialist Republican Association, it is one of the revolutionary organization. So, when you observe the moderate phase and extremist phase, Gandhian phase, another phase is revolutionary phase. Here, they have followed the revolutionary ideas. They have killed the British officers. They have expressed the revolutionary ideas among the youth in secret association. Surya Sen, one of the famous leader during these revolutionary ideas, he formed the Indian Republican Association, and also in some places parallel governments was run. See the another snippet, Gandhi 1915 January, Gandhi first Satyagraha, Champaran 1917, Rowlatt Act 1919, Gandhi nationwide Hartal. When Gandhi made several experiments in South Africa, he returned to India after 2 decades. An agreement was occurred between the South African government and Gandhiji. Gandhi was travelled during the period of First World War. In 1915, January 9th, he arrived in motherland. That day was celebrated in modern era, Pravasi Bharatiya Divas. Here, Gandhi first Satyagraha led for Champaran indigo planters. He was succeeded in 1917. He fought against for the indigo farmers. They have achieved a beautiful success. In 1918, Ahmedabad mill strike also led by Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. In 1918, Kheda movement also occurred. All these initial movements were succeeded led by Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. So Gandhiji beautifully led the Champaran, Kheda, Ahmedabad mill strike. Nationwide Hartal first was Rowlatt Act. Rowlatt Act was a black act. According to this act, any Indian can arrest without reason and also detained for nearly 2 years. This black act was protested by nationwide. This was the first nationwide Hartal led by Gandhiji. But it was taken some areas in violence method, and that also Punjab wrongs occurred. See the another synopsis. In April 13, the innocent people who have met in the Jallianwala Bagh ground, they have addressed by Hansraj, one of the local leader. He was giving speech about the Dr. Saifuddin Kichlu, who was arrested in the Punjab ranks. General Dyer, in the place, he has ordered to massacre the people. Up to bullets rounds are over, nearly about 1,000 peoples are massacred in that Jallianwala Bagh. This was called as Punjab ranks. For this, Britishers have not punished the General Dyer, and also Europeans collected donations. They have given silver sword and also protector of Europeans. In the another snippet, Hindu Swaraj, it is a famous book written by Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. My experiments with Truth is an autobiography. Hind Swaraj is a critique on Western culture by Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. See, another synopsis, Non-Brahmins Justice Party. Here in Tamil Nadu, E.V. Ramaswamy Nayakar, he started a justice paper and again formed a justice party. So justice party is on the baseline of non-Brahmins, and also they have advocated for the oppression and depression of upper castes. In Nagpur INC, Indian National Congress 1920, non-cooperation movement was agreed, and in that movement, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi successfully led for 1 year. During that year, he was called a nationwide leader. He originated, he transferred that leadership. Chauri Chaura, it is one of the incident occurred during the period of non-cooperation movement. 22 policemen were killed in the Chauri Chaura incident. The 22 policemen was killed by the local mob. The movement took violent. This incident turned Gandhiji to stop the non-cooperation movement in 1922. He suspended the movement in 1922 February nationwide. Then the Britishers were arrested the Mahatma Gandhi. Justice Broomfield awarded Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi for 6 years on the sedition. So, on the charges of against the government, he was sentenced for 6 years imprisonment. During the non-cooperation movement, Alluri Sitaramaraju, inspiration with the Gandhian methods, but took violent path for the sake of freedom, for the sake of local tribals' freedom. It is one of the incident. He was treated as an icon, symbol for the revolutionary movement. See, beggar forced, a term for the beggar, forced labor without any income, that term is called. In 1928, Vallabhbhai Patel, Sardar, he was titled as Sardar. During the no tax campaign, which was inspired by Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, the main follower of Vallabhbhai Patel, Gandhi's follower Vallabhbhai Patel, led the Bardoli no tax campaign. During the successful movement, the women praised him as a Sardar. See, another snippet, Purna Swaraj. From 1885, Indian National Congress inception, Congress is not advocated for the freedom, but under the leadership of Jawaharlal Nehru in December 1929, they have met at Lahore. They declared the major aim, objective of Indian National Congress is Purna Swaraj. We want complete independence. This was the first resolution took in Congress sessions for advocating, for aiming complete independence. So, in the coming year, 1930, January 26, after the following of Gandhi's advice, nationwide independence pledge was adopted. So, to commemorate the January 26th, though the Constitution of India was completed in November 26, 1949, in 1950, 26th January, our Indian Constitution was adopted due to the commemoration of 1930 January 26th Independence Pledge. Viceroy Lord Irwin was at that time. He wrote 11 demands. Gandhi wrote 11 demands for the Viceroy Lord Irwin. In that 11 demands, to reduce tax on salt. It is one of the demand. To abolish tax on salt, a common article for the Indians. So for that, Dandi March was led by Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi from March 12 to April 5th. Nearly about 70 followers, they have marched 100 miles. They have reached the Dandi in April 6, 1930. They have violated the laws. It is civil disobedience movement and also salt satyagraha. Gandhi-Irwin Pact occurred in 1931. When the peak movement was led in civil disobedience movement or salt satyagraha, Viceroy Lord Irwin and Gandhi discussed for the stalemate of this movement. So for this, Gandhi participated second RTC, Round Table Conference. When the Britishers, they have formed the 1927 Simon Commission. Simon toured in India during the period of 1928. They have submitted the report in 1929, but the higher authorities in Britain, they have given instructions in the Indian authorities to discuss with the local parties, local leaders, to consolidate these reforms. So the Britishers have they have made round table conference. First round table conference occurred in 1930, second round table conference in 1931, third round table conference occurred in 1932. So all these round table conference mixers and discussions, they have formed in white paper, and Britain Parliament adopted as a 1935 Government of Indian Act. So Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, during that period when the McDonald Award was awarded in 1932 for the reservation of lower caste, Gandhi was taken fast up to death. So for this, a stalemate occurred. Gandhi Ambedkar were discussed. Finally, Pune Pact concluded in September 1932. It is one of the major incident occurred during the period of civil disobedience movement. Non-cooperation movement 1920-22, civil disobedience movement 1930-31, again 1932-1934, Quit India movement 1942. Do or die, Karo ya Maro. This was slogan given by Quit India movement incident by Gandhiji during the Gavalia tank speech. The last one snippet, Indian National Army was founded by Subhash Chandra Bose. All these are the key snippets which are useful for so many competitive examinations, from top level civil services to National Defence Academy, as well as Staff Selection Commission, states group services, state public service commissions, group 1 services and group 2 services, all other competitive banking examinations also useful for these NCERT snippets. Thank you, viewers. We will meet again like this NCERT basics or other history related competitive material. Thank you very much.